legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts Mr. Skin, Jimmy Fela, and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Welcome to the world-famous, internationally renowned Mr. Skin Podcast. I am Jimmy Fela, kicking off a very festive time of year. The holiday tree is up at Mr. Skin headquarters. Saw that in my Twitter feed this morning. Joining me now from Los Angeles, a woman who has what I believe is a Hanukkah bush. Is that true, Andrea Lowell? Do you have a
guys,
Hanukkah
how
bush?
are you?
Good to see you, and happy holidays to you. And, of course, the man of the hour, the man of the century, if we're being honest, the great Mr. Skin. What's happening, Skin?
What up,
You
Jimmy?
back in the hood. I saw right in my Twitter feed this morning that the official holiday tree is up at Skin headquarters. Is that true?
Yes, the holiday bush, as we like to call it here. Yes. It was cool because I walked into the office and I was gone for Thanksgiving. I want to catch up on your guys' Thanksgiving, but I got to the office and Lisa, our office manager, had the Mr. Skin tree up, and they do a cool thing where all the ornaments are pictures. They take like funny pictures or grab pictures of the Skin employees and kind of make them into ornaments.
That's cute.
Kind of cool, but it's very festive here, so it's going to be fun. You know, like it's fun here when it's not the holiday season, so you add the holiday season and
kicks
then
up a notch.
Unlimited
I was going to ask
fun.
you, like, you know, how, like Radio City here in New York, they'll have like the tree lighting. Is there a ceremony at Skin headquarters? Are you actually lighting trees? Like, what goes on? What goes into that?
No, it's just no. You just walk in and the tree's up. We had our ornaments on ornaments on the tree. Yeah.
Is there anything you can't make a pun out of? Anything? Anything?
I don't know. It just comes to me naturally. I can't help it.
The Skin man. Happy holidays to you both. Nice to be back together. I was in Ohio visiting my in-laws.
Okay.
Yeah, there had to be a good story.
Things went on,
there,
Skin.
huh?
I told you I bet football. The Redskins covered, so I'm here. You remember me telling you last week that could have been my last Skin cast?
Yeah,
with the wagering going on and all. But no, the most danger I was exposed to was driving cross country with my wife. She almost stabbed me in the face in the middle of Pennsylvania. But we pulled it together. The Fellas had a good trip, and we went last Friday. And this is important. Last Friday was my son Lincoln's 8th birthday. And what we did we did a reverse Black Friday where we didn't go shopping on Black Friday with everyone else. You know how like Black Friday is like the American running of the bulls and you just really go and cheat death and all of that. What Lincoln and I did is we went at midnight Friday into Saturday when there really was nobody in the store. And we did like a reverse Black Friday. We had a great time. Tore it apart.
That's a fun thing.
I don't know if you've never gone people watching at Walmart, it's better. I'm not even there to shop. You're just walking around watching people eat chips in the store, cook meth in the fitting room. It's fun. And so that went on. That was good. How did you do in Detroit, Skin?
Well, I got to say, I was telling Maddie D, the problem is it's my wife's family, right? So you go there and then we stay at her dad's house, but then all her brothers and their kids stay there, his stepdaughters and the whole thing. So you get a lot of people jammed into a house, and I'm kind of I would like to stay at a hotel, but because she doesn't get to see her family that much, it's fun for the kids to all wake up and get to spend time together. So I get that. But after about 4 days, I'm so ready to go home, and I'm happy to be back. And I got to tell you another thing. Her aunt makes the Thanksgiving turkey every year. And I'm half Italian. I come from a family. I'm always eating top of the line food my whole life. Worst turkey ever. I mean, let me tell you, she cooks it the day before and warms it up on Thanksgiving.
Who is this woman?
Have you ever heard of this?
She should be added to the terrorist watch list.
I'm telling you, it is. I hope none of my wife's relatives are listening to this, but I got to tell you, man, it's just tough, and it's dry. Like gravy's yellow. It's just it's been 14 years. I haven't had a good meal.
That's not supposed to happen, Skin.
No. I haven't even had that day after where you put the turkey stuffing and cheese in the microwave and make a sandwich. Like I haven't even been able to do that in 14 years.
That's a national tragedy, man. I don't want to hear that. I'm approximately 93% body fat. So the food matters. Like when you talk to me about food, like I'll get a motion.
It's a big day. It's a big day for food. And I tell you, I come back, I don't gain any weight on these trips. Well, that's whatever. What are you going to do?
Well, that's good to know. Yeah, we had fun. The only complaint I could lodge against my wife's family, who were pretty well behaved by their standards, is they do this thing where they invite you over at 1, but they don't serve dinner till 6.
Oh, that sucks.
For real. I'm like, yo, this is not a holiday. This is a hostage situation.
How drunk are you at 6 o'clock when you don't have food in your stomach?
Drink, they don't even drink that bad.
What?
I know. That's the thing.
Oh, you don't want to be the only drunk guy. That's the worst. Thank God there's a lot of drunks in my wife's family, so I don't know what I do. There's other embarrassing moments than myself.
You know what you do, Skin? If you're in one of those environments and nobody's drinking, that's when I go to the bathroom and go through their medicine cabinet. A couple Percocets. This guy's on Vicodin. You got to get resourceful because you don't want to be the only one there holding a drink, and no one's onto that. No. So that Andrea, I should ask you, how was the tofurkey?
I mean, I don't really think anyone cares what I did for Thanksgiving. It was pretty lame. I was with my in-laws as well. My in-laws are actually Korean, so we had an interesting dinner.
Oh, that's right.
It was great. I would never eat
no
tofurkey. That's not good for you. But it was chill. It was chill. No one, unfortunately, had any prescriptions to scour through. We brought one bottle of champagne.
Do you guys at least drink? Do you drink at your husband's place?
Yeah, do you drink, Andrew?
We brought a bottle of champagne to do a toast, but no, I mean, I wouldn't want to act any sort of way in front of his family, if that makes sense. Yeah, we're just not at that place yet, even though it's been 15 years.
That's so funny. Haven't really settled
The real Andrea has not been discovered by the family.
Oh, we don't talk about what I do. We don't talk about we don't talk about anything regarding me at all.
Skin, that's not Andrea. That's Dr. Lowell to you. As far as her in-laws are concerned, that is Dr. Lowell.
Yeah, for sure. So it was pretty lame, but good to hang out with fam.
I'm in the same position in that I do try to play some defense at these things because my son, when he goes out there, he has friends that are real country kids. What I mean by that is, how kids who grew up in the country like shoot guns at age 5, they spit tobacco, they've all gutted a deer by 2nd grade. He has friends like that have like explosives. They're the coolest people in the world. They ride bikes, build forts, they shoot stuff, they blow stuff up. It's actually fascinating. I enjoy it, Skin. By no means am I disparaging. I actually find it to be quite fun. And for that reason, though, I stay semi-sober because I literally am around like dangerous stuff because of these 7 and 8 year old kids for like 3 straight days. Bizarre. It's like a reverse chaperone.
Yes, but, someone has to be responsible.
I guess.
So are you in? Is it like this isn't in a major city? No, you're in the burbs or in the sticks where you are in Ohio, right?
Dairy farm in Ohio near the Indiana border. So
that's good for your kid though to see that.
I think so too.
Great for my kid, bad for my wife's self-esteem, which is good for me because she's 6'1" and gorgeous. She doesn't know her street value. So she's sticking around. Yeah. Like if she grew up in a city, she'd know how hot she was, and she wouldn't have gave me the time of day. But having come from there, where most of my competition was livestock, I seem like a dish. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all, and it's nice to be back. And happy holidays. It's going to be a big month here at Skin headquarters. We've got some all kinds of greatest hits going on, all stuff like that.
Yeah, and this time of the year is when all the I start to put all my lists together, and in the coming weeks, I'm going to be talking about the best movie nude scenes, the best TV nude scenes, even some great stuff that we're looking forward to in 2017. So this is the time where we have we actually occasionally have meetings here, but these are like the fun meetings where I get together with the writers and the content people, and we go over all the different movie nude scenes and try to narrow it down to a top 10. And TV, as you can imagine, is brutally hard to narrow down, and we do that. And so I'll have some really cool lists for the podcast as we head towards the end of the year. It'll be
excellent.
Great. That's what we want to hear, Skin Man. We get excited for that stuff.
Yeah. Well, so do we here. So do we.
I want to say this today. Your girl is very funny, but we've been talking about Westworld a lot on the show.
Yeah.
And the girl we all love who was dating Marilyn Manson. What is her name? Evan Rachel Wood? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
So I was reading an article today where she said that when she was dating Marilyn Manson, she used to walk down the street and everyone would call her a whore and like yell at her and heckle her because she was mad at her, which is rough. You don't want to hear that. But it was funny to me because as she said that, I'm like, well, but I can't imagine doing Westworld has taken the edge off. If anything, they're calling her like a robotic.
No.
Like I was
not at all.
I was like, there's so much more going on in Westworld than in a Marilyn Manson video.
Yeah, well, the other thing about Westworld, I was saying, I think I was talking about it a little last week, is the fact that I knew that there would be a lot of nudity on Westworld and sex. That I didn't question. It never dawned on me that Evan Rachel Wood and Tandy Newton and some of the other girls on the show, the hosts, the robots, would be going back to the lab for examination
all the time,
and
constantly.
There's no modesty factor. They never put blankets or a sheet or anything over. So literally, there could be a whole scene where two guys are just talking, yet Tandy Newton's laying on a table completely nude, and you're not listening to a thing they're saying because it's almost distracting. It's probably the most gratuitous nudity I've ever seen on a major television show. When you factor in that they truly could have just. Why couldn't they have been under a sheet? I'm not advocating that in any way, shape, or form. But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just something I didn't anticipate, and it's one of the reasons Westworld's going to go down, no pun intended, as one of the great TV shows for nudity if it keeps this run, because you get that bonus, incredibly gratuitous nudity, and even when they're not on a table. Evan Rachel Wood will just be sitting in a chair with her butt.
Yeah.
Like you see her butt from the back. It's some pressed ham. It's very nice.
I was thinking about this too, and I was just like, I love the fact that it is so gratuitous. And then I was like, you know what? I think they do it intentionally, though, to further separate them from the way they would treat an actual conscious human. I think
I think so.
Aside from just the hot boobs and booty, I think that they do it to just really solidify the fact that these are not naturally born humans, although capable of much more than we are. They're not real, quote unquote. So I think that's part of the plot.
Yeah, I'll go with it,
and we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. So as part of my year-end TV list, we'll definitely be talking a little Westworld. There's no question about it. So
love it. Great show.
They
Great
have made a contribution. I know you're working on all of your awards lists. I've been quietly keeping mine as we've done this show for 21 episodes. I'm gonna have, there's always like a spin-off show of every award show. We're going to have like a spin-off show within the Skincast. We're going to have a spin-off show of my little People's Choice Awards. Because I'm keeping
Peepers.
People's Choice Awards. That's funny, man. Peepers, by the way, I can't let it go by without acknowledging it. There's a strip club in Utica, New York called Peepers. And it's a bad situation. It's like $5 to get in, $10 to get out. Like it's one of those.
But
I again, those are my people. I feel at home. I've been going. Andrew, I'm not kidding. I went to Peepers when I was.
That's why it's so funny.
I was in like 12 because I like a good Charlie Brown Christmas tree. You know what I mean? I like it. That's what Peepers is. It's like a bunch of Charlie Brown Christmas trees. And no, it's a good vibe. They're fun people, and there's no awe because I love the place. It is my little land of misfit toys, and I can't wait to go.
Yeah, next time I'm out your way, we'll have to stop by and check that out. Yeah, because
you know what's everybody tries to show off and take like the businessmen in from out of town to these really nice, flashy places. No,
you do the opposite.
Yes, absolutely. Character. I take you to those places.
I agree with you.
Yeah, you don't want to drink out of the cups at the places I go.
Yeah, I like that dingy dirtiness too. But I think it's true. When you want to give someone a taste or a bite or a slice of your culture, don't take them to a cheesecake fucking factory. Take them to the real spots.
Right.
Somewhere
that I agree with.
Doesn't exist anywhere else but where you are.
But Jimmy, a full set of chompers makes a girl even sexier.
Skin.
Hey, gummies are hot, man.
Yeah. I cannot promise you that you'll get that at Peepers. I cannot promise you that.
We'll go to the Sleaze Cake Factory by you, Jimmy.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm smelling a new business venture.
That's funny. That's funny.
Oh man,
who's naked on TV?
Together.
Yeah, we do. We have to have a field trip. We should have. This is what we should do. We should organize at the end of the year when we hit like our 100th episode. We should organize like a field trip, like a party with our listeners. And we should
for sure. Yeah, that'd
Jimmy,
be fun.
Yes.
You see what I'm doing here?
Yeah, that would be.
This is, the family. It's the Skincast is a big giant family.
I'm with you.
So if you're out there,
I'm at it. I got you covered. We'll do something fun. If we make it to 100, believe me, we'll do something. So.
All right, boom.
We will. So start planning. What else is going on besides Westworld and Shameless?
Yeah, who's naked? Who's naked on TV? What's happening, Skin?
Well, it's funny. Westworld, last night I was talking to the guys in content. It was the first episode of the season. There wasn't nudity.
What?
And they have, I think next week is the 10th episode, their final episodes. So, it was pretty crazy. So I'm anticipating lots of nudity next week. But listen, cut that show slack, man. There's been more nudity in the first 8 episodes than on almost any show in the history of television. So I'm not worried about it. But It was interesting because there was no nudity on Westworld. And they probably just needed a breather. But they also Shameless had their first episode with no nudity. But here's the beauty of it: there's still a ton of things to talk about television wise. So even with Westworld and Shameless drawing blanks, I still have some good stuff. And let me start with something. It's actually on NBC, and it caught my eye over the weekend when I got in this morning because it's a show called Chicago Fire, and it's on NBC. And I guess it's pretty popular. It's in the 5th season. And their 6th episode, this Kara Kilmer, now it's NBC, so she's not going to be naked, and Andrea, I just love this look. This is like, if, when I try to get Mrs. Skin to do some fun stuff, like this would be like right up my alley, like boots, the big long boots with just bra and panties, and you open the coat, and oh my God, is that like, to me, so sexy. But Kara Kilmer, she was I guess she's hitting John Seda. They're having things. So he comes to the door and she does this. And it just caught me as so incredibly sexy. And another cool thing, Jimmy, is that they filmed this Chicago Fire is, always being filmed in the neighborhood where our office is. It's you always see
the truck we frequently hear in the background.
Yeah, you always see the trucks and stuff for the Chicago Fire. Yeah. And the bar they use is literally 2 blocks from my office.
So
I'm
cool.
always seeing the truck there. So it was an extra thing. But if you haven't seen this, one of my favorite underwear scenes so far in 2000.
Can I say this?
No,
this
but
is where. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go, baby doll.
Well, all I was going to say, Andrea, is that this is where network television is at an advantage. In a scene like this, where they show her pull open the coat, you see the bra, the panties, and the boots. It's great. It's a sick shot. But because they can't show you more, and they have to cut away from that, it makes it so much more powerful. Like, it actually helps them. Like, I remember in one of the hottest things I've ever seen. It's in the movie The Natural. She comes to Robert Redford's door in a fur coat and just drops the coat. And all you really see is her shoulders and maybe the top of her ass. But you know what it signifies, and it makes it a lot heavier than if you got the rest of the dosage. You know what I'm saying? Because this shot,
no question.
because this shot right here, it's an amazing shot. But imagine in real time you're watching it, and then they cut. The shot really resonates more. It really stays with you because it's all you have. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and then what you would do immediately is go to MrSkin.com and see
if she's been naked.
Has been naked.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So she
that.
hasn't, unfortunately. But I just thought that was such a sexy scene, and it's from a show that they're filming around our office all the time. So it really caught my eye, and I wanted to
some home cooking.
Bring it up. Really good
home
stuff.
Cooking.
Yeah, and
really
I just wanted you to know, Mr. Skin, the technical term for those long black stiletto just under the knee or just over the knee boots is fuck me boots. That's honestly what all women do.
That'll be easy for me to remember.
That's what we call them. I'm like, you're going to wear your fuck me boots tonight? Or, that would look great with fuck me boots. So just so you know, that is what they're called.
Whoa. All right. Kara Kilmer with my best fuck me boot award.
Yeah, that's a category. That's even going to make my award show. Hold on a second. I'm scrolling right down.
Jot it down, baby.
So even without Westworld and Shameless this weekend, there was a couple other things, nudes of note. Graves is that show with Nick Nolte we've talked a little about on this Epix channel, and I still am back in the content department like, where could you get the Epix channel? Because my guys they grab things. Yeah. We have about 3 or 4 satellite dishes, and we're taping all these things. So I don't even know. Like, I have DirecTV at home, so if you have DirecTV, you don't get Epix. But anyway, Nick Nolte plays a former president, and they've had some really good nude scenes. They're creeping up as one of the top 5 or 6 shows for nudity. And this weekend it was Connor Leslie.
Wow.
Nobody you guys might know. She was on a miniseries called Klondike where she got naked within the last year or 2, but not a big name by any means. But a very sexy. I'm a big fan of the bouncing sex, bouncing on the guy, especially when you have real breasts. Yeah. It just adds a whole other element. And in this day and age, you don't always get real boobage with bouncing, and this was very, very
nice. Spillers. She has spillers. You can see it. Ooh, you know what I'm talking about? Where they spill out your bra a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a fan of spillers. We have another term. If they're a little bigger and you lay on your back and they fall to the side, we call those avalanche boobs, where the boobs kind of fall to the side. You know, and that's when you really got it. You're in my, like, that's where I get super. That's my type of girl is the Avalanche.
Absolutely. But just watching this from a female perspective, like, what is hotter? At least for me, and I'm sure it has to be for you guys too, but watching those big, heavy, natural breasts just go up and down, up and down. There's nothing better. It's amazing.
Preaching to the choir, Andrea. Preaching to the choir.
It's sensational. They should be playing America the Beautiful under this scene.
Right?
Yeah. So anyway, this Connor Leslie, great breast. She was naked this weekend. Now, this show airs on Sunday nights. Again, I don't know how many people out there get Epix Network. If you have Comcast or maybe Dish Network, I think you have access to it. But at the same time, this is interesting. They've released two shows on the same Epix Network, two original programming. The other one is called Berlin Station, which is like an espionage drama. Mm-hmm. And they're also in their first season, 7th episode. So it's synced up perfectly where they play these two shows on the same night, which is really strange. But they've both been renewed for another season, and both have had really good nudity out. The Berlin Station, unfortunately, the dude, I don't know a backstory at all here, but this girl's getting doggy styled. A guy comes in and shoots the dude that she's getting doggy styled by. He gets shot in the shoulder, and he's just like, and then she runs out naked. But anyways,
he doesn't look as mad as he should be looking, having just been shot and gotten his nuts thwarted.
And his own shot was thwarted prior to being shot.
Yeah,
which is another reason to be pissed.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's a weird scene. It's again, just talking to my people in the back. I was like, does anyone know about Berlin Station? Am I the only person that's talking about it? But hey, the girl was Jera Marie Anders, Breasts and Butt, and it's just another one of the many, many shows that we're tracking here at MrSkin.com. Very important.
I'm a fan.
Also, have you guys, well, you're not, Andrew, you're not a big HBO person, but Insecure is a show on HBO that's actually getting very good reviews, and this Issa Rae she wrote it. She's also the main character, and it's about kind of a black female experience in the modern era. And they just had their 8th and final episode Sunday night on HBO. It's on late, one of the later shows on HBO, but it's really, like I said, it's really, really good. And this in the final episode, I don't want to give away for people out there that might be watching, but let's just say that this girl, Dominique Perry, not the star of the show, Issa Rae is, but Dominic Perry is getting an incredible banging by this guy, and it's very realistic. And it was actually the first nude scene of the season. We had some good underwear stuff and whatnot, but this Dominic Perry was great. And by the way, we were talking here at the office. She has a great following on Twitter and Instagram, and I could see why now. She's got a killer body. But look at that, Andrea, that backdoor action is very realistic.
Back arch, the face down, ass up. That is where it's at. This is some hardcore pounding. I mean, it actually turned me on.
She is eating pillow in this scene.
That's a full meal. That is a full. That's entree. That's not an appetizer pillow. That is an entree right there.
Just a shout out to Insecure on HBO. As this girl gets jackhammered, that the fact that this is like they went from 0 to 60 in one episode. So way to close the season out. And I know this show will be back, and some really hot ladies on the show, and I really dug this nude scene. So check that out. Insecure on Sunday nights. They did just end the season, but obviously it'll be in reruns a ton. So we're all over that. And then just another fun thing I saw that I wanted to talk to you about. So there's a show on CBS called Life in Pieces. I'm not talking about the show here. It's in their 2nd season, 5th episode. But there was a lesbo kiss between Betsy Brandt and a Fortune Feemster.
Oh, that's her
which
actual
was
name?
kind of, yeah, it's a weird name.
Cool. And Betsy Brandt, she's from Breaking Bad.
Do you remember her? Yeah, she played Maria Schrader.
Yeah, I remember.
Breaking Bad, Hank's wife. And
she
the one that had that purple obsession, remember?
She had a scene where she jacked him off in the hospital bed.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Hey, if a guy can't move his legs, you got to move his leg. So, and obviously Breaking Bad. Everyone loved the show. Yeah. My favorite show of all time.
Awesome.
I absolutely love it. But little trivia. It's a little trivia here is that so Betsy Brandt played Hank's wife, and after Breaking Bad ended, she did Masters of Sex, and I have a picture up, and we'll have this at MrSkinPodcast.com. of she's stripping for a guy, and you only see her right breast, but it was her nude debut, which was pretty cool, especially after you become a big fan of Breaking Bad, and then you're like, God, I think she's hot. I hope she does a nude scene, and boom, she on Showtime, really nice breaking boob from Betsy Brandt on there, and it's always fun. We did whenever an actress, there's a few of them, a handful, no pun intended, a handful of actresses who've only shown right breasts in their career, and we've done a playlist of this. We call it Women's Rights, and where you've never showed your butt, you've never showed your left breast, but it's called Women's Rights. So we had to add her to that playlist when she did the
what about
nude
left boobs, Mr. Skin?
Well, that's a whole other category, but this is, if you've only shown your right breast, you make our playlist for Women's Rights. That would be for our left wingers, right? But
because every woman has a slightly bigger boob, so I would think that if they were going to show one, they'd pick the bigger one, even if it's just a millimeter or two.
Here's a question.
Oh no, here's
a question, Andrea. Is there a consistency to what side the bigger boob is usually on?
That's what I was getting at. I believe, in my personal belief, that and based on my practical experience, that a lot of women declare that their right boob is bigger. My left one is bigger. I think it's because it's closer to the heart, so it gets more blood flow. But there's no scientific evidence to back that up. But most women say that their right boob is slightly bigger. So that's what kind of made me think of that.
Wow. Now, is it because of, it's not exercise? Like, why would it be bigger?
There's just always a little bit of asymmetry in nature. So some are more obvious than others. Some are, unnoticeable to the naked eye. Only the woman would know. But there's always a teensy bit of asymmetry.
All right. Yeah. I'm making a note of that one too. That's great information. I never thought of that.
Think of like Angelina Jolie, for example, pre removal and her naked in Gia, you could see a very visible asymmetry, and still no one regarded it as imperfect. Because it's just natural that they're not exactly going to be the same.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the subject of Breaking Bad,
sure.
The girl that played Hank's wife, Anna Gunn, did a movie called Nobody's Baby before she hit it big on Breaking Bad, where she went for a skinny dip and was topless. So you could see Anna's guns in that. So that's your Breaking Bad rundown, which when Betsy Brandt got naked, I was psyched, because then the two female leads from the show actually did nudity, which made me very happy, from my favorite show.
I did not know that. I did not know the wife got naked. I didn't know she got naked.
Yeah, the blonde.
Both.
Both
yes, I'm set. Yeah,
that's a big
deal. Great.
Yeah,
game changer.
How old was Anna Gunn when she did that nude scene?
Oh, probably like early 30s, maybe early 30s. Cool. Yeah, she was. She looked great, by the way, and I thought she looked great on Breaking Bad. And they just chose not to show nudity on that show, other than the pilot episode. There was a nude scene that only aired in some regions. So, but anyway, the good news is both did nudity, and which is awesome. So
it's just a winner. Can I just clarify one thing? Walter White's wife was played by which actress?
Anna Gunn.
Yeah, I don't want to look up the wrong scene. I'm trying to be efficient here. It's just like, we got a show to do, but all right, good.
Yeah, you seem distracted. No, it's So check out Anna Gunn and Betsy Brandt, and you'll have your Breaking Bad, the babes of Breaking Bad news.
Loving that.
Yeah. And anyway, so that was a TV roundup. So like I said, even without Westworld and Shameless with their usual awesome nudity, we still, we still had some good TV stuff to talk about. Now, there is a few nudity nuggets that I wanted to talk about. There's always stuff in the news, maybe that's not for movies or television, that gets huge trending at Facebook or just online, and a lot of people were into. And you guys all know how that mannequin challenge has been sweeping the nation. We all have seen the mannequin challenge.
Actually, one of the few challenges online that I actually find entertaining.
Yeah, I do too.
So I'm always happy to hear when there's a good one.
Well, I found a great one. It's and this is getting a ton. I think even today it was trending big time. Is Joanna Krupa? She's a reality TV babe, and from Real Housewives Miami, Dancing with the Stars. She was even I remember she was a juggy dancer in the Man Show, which is really cool. So
I love her.
She did one where she was laying completely nude, holding a magazine over her head, and we have the thing at MrSkinPodcast.com for you guys to check out. But look at that.
Oh
Isn't
my
that
gosh,
sexy
it's
as hell?
beautiful.
I know, isn't that great?
It's like the light coming out on her body and casting the shadow, and just how delicate and feminine and precious she looks. She almost looks like a porcelain doll you might break if you touch. Wow.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
I love it.
Yeah, you don't see that at Peepers. No, sir.
Yeah. No, it's great. So she, by the way, and then also check the next picture. The same day that the mannequin challenge thing hits big time, I found on my own getting ready for the show that over the weekend she was out with some girls and had an incredible nip slip. Look at that rack. She's a pretty girl, man. And her right breast, again, a woman's rights, kind of popped out, and you get like half a nip, and it was pretty nice. And what a dress to be wearing. Now, don't you know, Andrew, if you're wearing a dress like that with boobs that big, I mean, you got to expect some slippage of nippage, don't you?
Yes. And here's the thing. For the last 12 years, they've had double-sided tape specifically designed for clothing so it doesn't leave sticky goo on your delicate clothes for this
That's
purpose.
for later in the evening.
No, exactly. So it's like there's no reason why any woman would not tape her titties in at all, because it's like 99 cents at the store. So I just, it's like she was asking for it. I love her a lot. I've always really admired her. And I think that the nip slip with the mannequin challenge might be some sort of PR stunt.
Yeah,
that two-sided tape is we're anti two-sided tape at MrSkin.com.
Hey, I forego it, but I'm an exhibitionist, so that's that's my thing. But she's not.
You have no sided tape. Yeah, it's sticky on neither side.
Yeah, she's not an exhibitionist though. Like every time she's done nudity, I think she's a 2-time Playboy cover model plus a spread inside and other various small things. She has to get paid big bucks to show her cans. So I don't know. I'm smelling PR stunts.
This is totally PR. I mean, if you think about that, the nip and the mannequin challenge. I mean, there's nothing more publicity seeking right now than a celebrity mannequin challenge. So this definitely started the conversation. You know what I mean? And I'm not, listen, by no means are we disparaging this or we upset about this.
Bring
Absolutely
it on.
not.
Yeah.
This is not a complaint.
No, it is smart. It is smart. And when, like I said, like when we look before the show, I'm just looking around, what's trending, what's everyone talking about.
Absolutely.
And this one caught my eye. So she knew what she was doing.
Well, yeah, Joanna Krupa is one of the most beautiful women in America. I mean, she's so pretty. So I'm always willing to look at her.
What could we guess what her ethnicity is? Is she Polish?
I think she's Polish.
That's what I was going to say.
I would bet money she's Polish.
Polish women, man, really they are the most underrated women on the planet, pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Fantastic Polish women. If you go where we're from, out here in New York, to Greenpoint, Brooklyn, which is like a heavily Polish neighborhood. You eat a nice pierogi. They got some real nice pierogies walking around. And no, they have those gorgeous Eastern European women that would make you hate your mom.
Love them.
You know those really hot, temperamental women that are so hot and so temperamental they could drive you to like dizzying things? I dated a Polish girl named Ermina when I was like 25. And she was like physically the best looking girl I've ever seen, like at the time. Mm-hmm. But she was a monster. And I knew within like 3 days that she was so hot, but she was so like volatile that it was like if I really got sucked into it, it was like a bad situation. You know, like they say, like if you take a hit of crack and you go down that road, you're doing things that you yourself would never have seen yourself doing. I could see this girl really like rewiring the makeup of who I was. She was that hot and that crazy.
Wow.
So I said, Polish women, gorgeous.
Good thing you bailed, sir.
Buyer beware, though. They are gorgeous, but, if you get the wrong one, it could end
I know what you're saying.
Just a little side
we have a ton of Polish women in Chicago.
Oh, that's right.
I think the guys, I think Maddie D just hit me up that there's more Polish women in Chicago than in Warsaw. Is that true?
Not true.
All right. I just made that up, but there's a lot of hot Polish girls in Chicago.
There sure are.
No, it's supposedly that's what I've heard before. So Chicago, I know where you're coming from, Jimmy. That is so true. Hey, one last thing on her. Joanna Krupa was actually naked in a movie, The Dog Problem from 2006. And if you want to see her not strategically covered or a nip slip
or Photoshop
at MrSkinPodcast.com, we have the pick. That happened at the 1 hour and 1 minute mark of the dog.
She's got a killer rack, dude.
Yeah,
and I do believe her breasts are enhanced. And I when they look like this, when they hang like that, I love those.
Yeah, that's impressive.
No, she's got great rackage. So anyway, that was kind of cool. One of our nudity nuggets for today. The other was, this happened right before I left for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But did you guys see that Alicia Silverstone for
yes.
PETA?
No.
I did.
Yeah. Jimmy, you saw it. Man, I forget how hot she, because remember when Clueless came out? Of course, that's when she was bigger than big.
Yeah.
But The Crush, before that, there was nudity in that, but it was a body double. It wasn't her. But in that mid-90s, she was really popular and really, and it's more than 20 years ago.
She was like a Hollywood it girl. Like, we didn't have social
Absolutely.
media, but she had like that kind of Kardashian media footprint back then.
Yeah,
wasn't she in some Aerosmith videos also, I want to say? Yes. Oh, boy. She was so hot in the 90s. And I know. Well, she did this PETA ad, which, it's funny, whatever your beliefs are with that. She was protesting, that she's against wool. Okay, no problem. But she did it by showing full butt and full butt. And gosh, Maddie D and I were talking about it before the show. What a can on Alicia Silverstone. Yes. I'm very impressed.
Me
especially
too.
if it's 20 years since we were going nuts over. Very impressive showing by Alicia Silverstone in the PETA ad.
She is not aging. I mean, she looks like she just stepped out of the movie lot from Clueless. I'm like,
right.
She looks incredible.
Well, that's...
Now, if she's against wool, does she shave her pubes? Hey. But she didn't turn around, so we don't know.
I don't know, but I would definitely like to look. But you know what's so sexy about her is that weird way her mouth sits. It's like you just imagine like what they would feel like or look like kissing or doing other things with your mouth, because they're just so unique and pouty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it works.
Beautiful girl, beautiful girl. But that was good. And then what we did, we own a website, What Would Tyler Durden Do? And we did a really cool video there that was just a compilation of all the girls that have posed for PETA for different causes.
Nice.
And it's amazing. And they were all naked, like Eva Mendes, Sophie Monk, Olivia Munn, Carrie Otis. Yeah, all these different girls, Khloe Kardashian. They've all done it. So we did a video showing their stuff. So it's a pretty cool video. You forget, because they're advertisements. So they're not in your normal, the normal places that Jimmy and I would look for porn and nudity. And it was a fun to reminisce and watch that. So we had that video, and maybe Maddie D could post that at Mr. Skin Podcast so you could see the video, and you'd be surprised at how many different girls have posed. So that was really cool.
That is pretty cool.
Wow, look at her.
Yeah.
That is
the things people will do for their charity of choice, right?
Oh my God, yeah. I know. So, hey, last but not least, because we're getting to the end of the show here, I wanted to do a shout out. I know Florence Henderson died recently, the mom on the Brady Bunch. And what's funny is people forget she's never done a nude scene. Let me get that out of the way first. But
we know
she did some interesting stuff. One of the things, when I first launched MrSkin.com, like literally within the first 6 months I had the website, there was this DVD I found that was from 2000. It's called The Brady Home Movies. And what it was is it was just old, while they were filming the Brady Bunch. I think I want to say Greg Brady, Barry Williams was the one who had the camera or the video camera. And he was filming all these things. Like when the Brady Bunch went to Hawaii, they showed that and, all the backstory of that. And it was funny because, there was a scene where Florence Henderson's in a one-piece bathing suit, and she puts her butt to the camera and then bends down and looks through her legs back at the camera. And it was just kind of unsettling because it was the mom from the Brady Bunch. It was during the filming of the Brady Bunch, something you would never have seen on the Brady Bunch, but it was pretty cool. And we have that at our website, which was pretty cool. And then they had... I guess what it was is a bunch of the cast got cameras while they were filming in Hawaii, so they have all the scenes of them in bathing suits and stuff. So we actually posted that at our website. Creepy as I was back in the year 2000, I had Florence Henderson in a one piece, and I felt that justified being at our website. But anyway, it was pretty cool, and I think we have Maddie D could post the pics at the MrSkinPodcast.com, so you could see Florence Henderson doing it's almost like she's hiking a football, but in a bathing suit.
Further down.
Yeah. It's a Jimmy. That's a long snap.
A long snapper, as they say.
Had she thought these would ever have been seen, she would never have allowed Greg Brady to take these. She's very, very. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. Proper.
She has Wessonality. Yeah. So anyway, so there was that, and then do you remember? It couldn't have been. It had to be within the last couple of years where she was on Dancing with the Stars and she pulled up her shirt and flashed her bra on her stomach. It was kind of cool for her to do.
That? What?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was kind of.
Wait. Okay, I'm going to break something down for you guys real quick. Me and Florence, and I was not planning on bringing this up at least for a few months ever because I need time to heal and process. She and I had worked together. In 2007, we did a reality show on VH1 called The Surreal Life.
Okay.
And
that's
she
right.
and I had a very public argument, and I never really made an amends to her. And I felt like she was getting mad at me or judging me because I was working for Playboy, and it really hurt my feelings because I felt like she was only seeing that one aspect of my character and not the other facets of my personality or talents or work. And I went on to just publicly bash her for years. And I had this.
We're gonna have to post this, Maddie, on the site.
I had a really negative thought about her last week, and it disturbed me that I'm still having these resentments and these feelings. And I decided I was going to maybe write her an email or talk to her or do something just to bury the hatchet. And then I find out she'd passed. So this whole time that I've been, the last few days, I've just been in this really weird kind of emotional place because I never got closure. And the fact that I had that thought that I hadn't had in a few years pop up a few days ago, it was just been really emotionally overwhelming.
That's
crazy
really
to me
freaky.
too, because I was reading the story about her dying, and it said her last words were, "Andrea, you bitch."
Really? I believe it though. I mean,
it's like Lowell, that pain in the ass.
It really hurt me
because you fought Carol Brady.
And I was venomous and I was mean. Now I understand. She was trying to protect me and she knew there was more things for me. And I only saw it as she's judgmental, because I was just so immature and naive and I took everything the wrong way and it affected my ego. So I just went on this rampage against her for literally lasted years. And the reason I found out she died was because my fans from that time of my life were tagging me on stuff and posting me on stuff as if I was supposed to be celebrating. And I was like, oh my God, I've dropped the ball.
Oh my God. Well, listen, Maddie D just informed me that he has already pulled up some of the audio of this argument with one of your.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Stop.
No,
I love to hear this.
I might start crying. I hope you're joking.
This is my crack staff at work. Please, Maddie D.
Stage hoe in the history of the rock and roll.
I was the girl on stage that's just a gratuitous sex pot, and so I really wanted to really go for it. I'm practicing now. I kind of got that mom vibe from Florence because I've seen that look from my mom too, and it was so annoying. They're gonna grow up and wish they were me, like how I did with Honey Contain. Oh my God. I think there's a lot of insecurity, but I realize she's a child, and I'm not even sure she's aware of it. But a lot of her behavior is so inappropriate.
Is Hollywood ready?
First hands up.
Hands up, man. If I lose to a
okay, so
there you go.
That was more of like commentary behind the scenes, but I will say to this day, and Mr. Skin, the way I have acted and do act is not because I'm insecure. I've never been insecure. I'm probably the least insecure person I know.
I agree 100% for knowing you all this time, right?
I mean, so I think I was offended that she didn't understand that I just didn't give a fuck about nudity. To me, it wasn't hypersexualized, and that I knew at a young age I could use it to further my career. So why wouldn't I?
Of course.
I felt misunderstood, and I also felt like she was misunderstood, and I just feel so much regret that we had this bitch fest that went back and forth for years and there was no resolution. So I think this was very cathartic for me, Skin. So the fact that you brought this up today, I think I need it.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I truly didn't even know that happened. So that was kind of cool to find that out. Here we are talking about Florence Henderson, and you had a very public dispute with her, which shocked
me that she flashed her bra because she was not a bra flasher. But so I'm sorry, funny. Florence. I'm really sorry. I truly am sorry for being a B because I just was dumb.
I do believe in 21 episodes. This is our first time communicating with the afterlife. We broke ground here.
Well, I do a ritual seance before each show, so no, just kidding.
My God,
it's so funny because like her death sparked two different reactions. There was like the TV nostalgia people who loved, grew up with the Brady Bunch. Mm-hmm. And then there were people under 35 who heard that Florence Henderson died and assumed that was the real name of Flo from Progressive.
Right.
Yes,
I thought that too. Yeah.
Because by name, it even took me a minute. I mean, obviously I know who she was, but it took me a second. And I was like, oh man, Carol Brady. And now for the first time ever, I suspect foul play because of this podcast. So I've got I'm kidding. You didn't kill her. You don't know. You and your Korean in-laws on Thanksgiving watched Florence Henderson. Now the whole episode has come full circle.
Can we actually not air this episode? Just in case? No,
right. No, but Andrea, that's a great story, and that was my final. My Florence Henderson was the last thing. Wow. I had no idea all this backstory. So very cool. Thank you.
Of course. And I'll probably, honestly, after I'm a little less kind of torn up about it, I probably will go forward with an actual public statement that's a little bit more well put together, just because there's so many people that still believe that I hate her like I used to, and I just really need to set the record straight.
Yeah, of course. And you know what, man? Honestly, you did. This was good. Just this unburdening, just by putting it out in the universe. I hope that does help you, because usually it does. A lot of people don't know that, but just talking about it in general, do you feel just ever so slightly better?
Yeah, I feel lighter. It's just true. You feel like something was kind of weighing on your heart, and it's just kind of a little less heavy.
Well, I'm glad you do, because three days after Thanksgiving, I feel a lot of things, but lighter is not one.
No.
Lighter is not one. But a fun episode, everybody.
Yes.
We laughed, we cried.
The tree is up.
Did a seance.
Come on, it's all coming together.
Is there anything we don't talk about on this show? Like, straight up.
We're covering a lot of ground here. A lot of fun, you guys. I suppose we should do this again next week.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and I'll have some more lists to end the year. I got some really good stuff. My team is working very hard, and next time we talk, I'm going to do the top 10 movie nude scenes of 2016.
Excellent.
It's as usual another great year. I got some really fun stuff to talk about.
Be on the lookout, folks. Episode 22 coming soon to a brothel near you. Very exciting stuff. See you next week, everybody. Lots of fun.
All right, guys. Take care.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.